Hi guys, I'm Sheri Vegas and today I'm going to show you how to use resin to jazz up your coasters and your chopping board. I hope you guys enjoy. With a chopping board that has a handle, I'm just applying some painter's tape across the board. On the top I'm going to apply 2 layers of my painter's tape and then I'm going to flip it over to do underneath. On the underneath of my board, I'm going to cover the whole bottom in painter's tape where the resin will be applied on the handle. This is a pretty simple step. You just need to make sure that anywhere that the resin will be going on top, the underneath of the board needs to be covered in tape to stop any of the resin dripping and causing an uneven edge. Once the bottom of the board is covered, you just want to go along with a pair of scissors and cut it really tight to the edge. You don't want any of the tape overlapping onto the board, so just go over and make sure it's cut perfectly flush to the edge. Now with my coasters, I'm going to just follow the same process that I did with the board, which is just applying tape to the bottom side of the coaster and then cutting it really tight towards the edge so that way resin can't drip or seep underneath my tape. All you need to do now is just place your board and your coasters up on cups while you pour your resin. Today I'm going to be doing a dirty pour that will create a beautiful pattern on my board and my coasters. The colours I'm using are white, gold and a peachy shimmer. Today for my resin I'm using Resin, which is an Australian based brand. It's a 50-50 split with a resin and a hardener that you combine together. If you haven't worked with resin before, I recommend going and checking out my tips and tricks for working with resin, the beginner's guide. I'll link it in the description box below. Now all I'm doing is pouring all the colours in my cup, which is creating my dirty pour, over the edge of my board and onto my coasters. On my second board I haven't taped the top, but only underneath. This is going to create a different effect, so I won't have a perfectly straight line. So I thought I'd show you the 2 different ways. Now it doesn't matter if the resin drips underneath because that's why you've taped it. So feel free to have the resin pour over and fully cover your coasters and the edge of your board. If you haven't already, go check out my Instagram as I post a lot of clips that don't make my YouTube channel. With the board that you have the tape on the top, you want to wait around half an hour. This does depend on the resin that you're using to peel the top tape off. By doing this before the resin has fully set, you still get a perfectly straight line, but you're also not trying to crack the resin. If you do this when the resin has fully set, the resin will lock onto the tape and you won't be able to peel it off, or you won't get a straight line. So you need to wait till your resin has stopped flowing but hasn't fully dried. I've waited 24 hours for my board and coasters to fully dry. This waiting time does depend on the resin you're using and the temperature of the room. If the temperature of the room is really hot, your resin will dry a little bit faster. All I have to do now is peel the tape from the bottom off. This will get any excess resin that has dripped underneath, leaving you with a nice smooth surface. Now you have an amazing custom piece to use at your next party. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, it really does help me out. And I post new videos every week, so if you haven't subscribed already, do so.